Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Wrath of the Righteous with me, Break It On. Let's build a bridge out of the debris.
What's on your mind? I wonder.
Thanks, Lamb. You're so awesome.
Alright, so if you fail
Lamb.
that check, there is a penalty, I think 1 or 2 hours.
I'm gone.
And since we're on a time limit, you really don't want to fail it.
This will be quick. Don't hold back.
I'll cut you wide open!
Cover me, all right?
You crossed the wrong mongrel.
The spirits demand your blood!
So another reason not to go into that building beside where we recruited Ember, where the rat swarms are located, is there's a opportunity to summon a new enemy to this area. If you do that,
Yet another obstacle.
you miss out on this encounter.
Strike.
You are today's sacrifice!
Stab you or zap you. Why not both?
We do it my way.
My story is told us by Spirits, The Night with Harrowed Hands, Kenabres Medium Alliance Publishing. The demon puts 2 plates on the table in front of me, on each a bleeding human heart. Look, he says, right one belongs to a noble and righteous man, a loyal servant of Iomade. The left one is the heart of a murderer and a scoundrel, but something tells me they taste exactly the same. I remain silent and don't move. I couldn't if I tried. One of my hands is pinned to the wide armrest, with the knife thrust to the hilt. The other is similarly pinned helpless on the table. The demon circles and carefully brushes away a strand of hair that stuck to my forehead. Your silence saddens me. Don't waste your time on this performance monster, I say, but I have scarcely the energy to breathe. If you wish to torture me, go ahead. If you want to kill me, then kill me. My life is in your hands, but my soul is not, and never will be. The hearts on the plates in front of me continue oozing blood. They've only just been ripped from their owners' bodies. The right one, apparently, belonged to my partner. The left, to the criminal we were escorting. But the demon, who set his lair in the old mill, killed without discrimination. He walks around the armchair and stops behind my back, placing a clawed hand on my shoulder. This is not a performance at all. It's a feast, and I will be sated. No, not with this. You can see my eyes still on the hearts. With you. It's your heart that's in front of me right now. So helpless. The claws on my shoulder tighten a bit. Goddess, help me endure. After a moment, the demon continues. You know what you don't understand, you zealous servants of law and good. He seems to like the sound of his own voice. It was you who brought us to your land. The more of you who gather here, at the edge of the world wound, so brave, burning with righteous wrath, the more like me will come from the abyss. It's not because we want to win a war and conquer your world. Perhaps our lord wants this, but trust me, they are as far removed from their subjects as your lords and kings are from you. No, we come for those like you, for the persistent and the proud, who won't break until the end. For those whose suffering is sweet and lasts, for the sweets. He appears in front of me again, licking his lips. I well know that he'll never grant me a quick death.
Follow if you dare.
Hi, Ramien and Hulrun. My beloved brother, I admire your zeal, of course. Would you not agree this is hardly the time to be standing guard over a hole that no one will ever emerge from? Or perhaps you're concerned that someone will decide to go for a nighttime stroll and will accidentally fall into it. Such foresight is laudable, but do you really need so many soldiers for such a task? Can't your warriors be put to better use? For instance, fighting demons, or clearing rubble, while the people trapped beneath it might still be alive. The face of this golden-curled Aasimar is beautiful, even by the standards of his kind, in whose veins runs the blood of angels. His melodious voice sounds cheerful, but bitter reproach simmers in his gaze. Don't you dare call me brother, heretic. The signs of recent hard fighting are obvious on this stern old man. His armor is dented and covered in blood, and his unnatural pallor suggests something more dangerous than wounds inflicted by claws and fangs. Nevertheless, his gaze is stony, and his voice, accustomed to barking orders, is harsh and clipped. How dare you accuse me of doing nothing to protect this city? Especially now, when followers of your temple were caught committing treason. To my mind, you're no different than demon worshippers. Those miscreants, those beasts that are digging under the city walls. Everyone knows, my dearest Prelate, that in your zealous pursuit of order in the city, you've long since forgotten how to tell friend from foe, and good from evil. That's what happened with my adepts, whose act of treason was a genuine attempt to save the city. And yet again, I'm forced to repeat myself. While we are wasting time on pointless quarrels, people are dying under the rubble in our city. People whom we could have saved if you had only set your soldiers to the task, and not kept them here, surrounding a useless and utterly harmless hole in the ground. Harmless? Well, if it's on your say-so, then that must mean there is someone down there. Your associates, no doubt. They're just waiting for us to abandon our posts before they slink out and try again too. The old man notices your approach. And you. I remember you. You appeared in my city the day the demons attacked and Tarantula died. What are you doing here? Answer at once, or have you strung up by your ankles before you know it? Don't think that the demons have wounded me. I still have enough strength to take on 100 of your sort. And what is this hideous creature? Hulrun peers at Lan with suspicion. Lan, at your service. The mongrel ducks his head in a bow. My forebears fought in the First Crusade. I've lived in Kenabres my whole life. You haven't ever seen me before. Ah. It must be because you don't ever venture into our underground district. We've been meaning to complain to the city authorities that our paving stones have been in need of repair for a long time. The First Crusade. So you're a mongrel. You obviously know human speech. Surprisingly well, in fact. Alright, let's be off with you. The Prelate looks at you. If he causes any trouble, I shall hold you responsible. Come to think of it, you still haven't told me who you are. I'm a Crusader. I'm fighting to liberate Kenabres from the demons. A Crusader, you say? I'll be looking into that. You obviously don't know to whom you are speaking. I'm the one who decides who's a Crusader and who's a traitor in this city. Hulrun Shapik, a Prelate of Kenabres by the grace of Her Majesty Queen Galfrey, and the city's defender against threats from within and without. And as we can see, you've done a sterling job protecting the city. The golden-curled Aasimar flashes a flinty smile. I am Ramien of Edme, prior of the Temple of Desna, which alas currently lies in ruins. Wise Hulrun here believes it is vital to guard this hole in the ground, from which he is certain demons will emerge at any moment. I've been trying to convince him that the city has far more urgent matters to deal with. For instance, rescuing those currently dying under the rubble. You know what? There may in fact be one matter that is more important than guarding this hole. I've put it off and put it off, and look where it's led us. I should have had you hung from the gates back when you dared to defend your gang of delinquent demon collaborators. If the Sarkarians had hanged Arilu Vorlesh while they had the chance, it never would have been a war. I won't repeat their mistake. I won't hesitate any longer. Soldiers, seize this scum. Prelate, see reason. These are frightening times. For threatening to hang someone without trial. That is unworthy of a servant of Iomade. The old man fixes his eyes on Sela. Lest you forget, girl, you may serve the same goddess, but you're not an inquisitor. Don't question the way I choose to serve Iomade, and I won't question yours. What precisely are you accusing Ramien of, Inquisitor? Treason. Not long before the city was attacked, several followers from his temple tried to secretly access the Wardstone and perform an unknown ritual over it. Hulrun is trembling with fury. The Wardstone of Kenabres, the gift from Iomade, the bringer of light, brought by the hands of her herald, the first in the chain. And followers of that crazy runt of a goddess try to meddle with it using their magic, after hearing a voice in their dreams. My soldiers almost had them caught when Ramien got in their way, allowing the traitors to go to ground. I made a mistake. I didn't have him locked in a cell and interrogated to within an inch of his life. And now the city lies in ruins. It's time to rectify that mistake. I've told you before, and I'll tell you again. My people foresaw the attack on the city. They knew the Wardstone already carried the seed of corruption within itself, and they simply tried to heal it. I've heard similar claims before. Now where was it? Ah yes, from Staunton Vane, the traitor who brought down Dresden. This will come up, well, the storyteller is tied to that. I think maybe if the storyteller had told him instead of Staunton Vane, well, he still would have seen reason. Hulrun's a little bit too zealous. The lessons of the past have taught us a great deal, and that is why I never believed you or your mob's lies even for a second, and I was right. So you have a couple options here, and if you don't take option 2, eventually you have to fight one of these two. I don't think that saving Ramien has any long-lasting effects. I mean, they'll both help you out later on in Act 1, but in Act 5, Hulrun will help you out again, where Ramien does not. But if you want to talk him down, you want to take option 2. That's the only way to resolve this peacefully. Unless you just don't do the quest. To reveal the light of heaven, behold, Inquisitor, I bear the gift of an angel who died in the caves below Kenabres. I am no enemy of yours. The old man frowns and whispers something, a prayer or a spell. With each word, his face relaxes. You're telling the truth. The light in your hand was wrought by the power of heaven. I will keep an open mind with regard to you, stranger. And later, under less fractious circumstances, I'd like to ask you about how you came to receive this gift. But that can wait. And I must deal with this filth once and for all. I'm going to say nothing here. Because I don't agree with Hulrun. And my character's not chaotic. I'm not going to threaten Hulrun either. Ramien looks at the Prelate. You're a fool, Hulrun. You're a zealot and a murderer. But you're a fool first and foremost. I told you that the Wardstone was weakened. You wouldn't listen. I warned you that the city was going to be attacked. You shooed me away. The truth is that my young adepts are trying to save the Wardstone, but you stopped them. Of course, those truly responsible for this tragedy are the demons. But you've done nothing to prevent it. Now you'd still rather kill an innocent person and perish yourself than admit that you were wrong. As always. With a wave of his hand, the Aasimar vanishes. So regardless of your choice here, Ramien will get away, and then you get assigned a quest. He fled, the heretic. He's no doubt expecting me to rush off in pursuit, but that won't work on me. Hulrun turns his attention to you. What about you? If you truly have been marked out for a gift from heaven, this is your chance to save the city. Go and bring back that filthy traitor. I'm almost certain that he and his cronies were helping the demons, either knowingly or unknowingly. Their attempt to bewitch the Wardstone is clear proof. Ramien must be captured. So it's a little funny that Hulrun is partially right here, but not in the way he thinks. I see you suffered greatly in battle. Nonsense. I had to deal with the brood of Nabasus. It was nothing. I've taken on worse enemies with the goddess's help. So his physical appearance is due in part to having his level drained by Nabasus. The Inquisitor seems hale and hearty, but you're not sure if his wounds truly are minor, or if it's all just bravado. Why are you obsessed with finding enemies everywhere you look? Why? Why? You must not be from these parts, or you wouldn't have asked such a question. I look for enemies everywhere because our enemies are everywhere. Who are we at war with? Demons. Demons and cultists. They are masters of deception. They worm their way into your favor and masquerade in all manner of false guises. You think Dresden was taken by force? No, by trickery. Were it not for me, Kenabres would have gone the same way long ago. Captured out from under our noses. Now listen to what I'm about to tell you. This was a long time ago. I was very young then, that had just joined the crusade. Back then, Kenabres didn't have a garrison so much as a public thoroughfare. Anyone who wanted to just stroll into the city. One day at dawn, a group of refugees came up to the city gates, bold as brass. The guards let them in, and why not? For no one was ever turned away. It was no matter. Everyone was welcome in our city. If you came from Mendev, or if you'd hauled yourself here from across the seas, Crusade accepted all and sundry. But on this occasion, we paid dearly for our laxity. Just as soon as those innocent lambs entered the city, they transformed into demons and rushed toward the wardstone, slaughtering everyone who tried to stop them. 62 people died in less than a minute. The demons used their mutilated corpses to desecrate the obelisk. None of them dared to go near it. The light of the goddess burned them all. They threw the blood from afar, spouting the wardstone from every direction. And the lead demon, an eyeless beast, Monago is her name, jeered and gloated, saying we mortals have been sitting ducks. And the creature was right too. We let our guard down, and we got what we deserved. That bloodbath came to be known as the Red Morning Massacre. It has burned into the townsfolk's memories. Since then, Kenabres has adopted different practices. Heretics, cultists, spies, all the rabble who coveted Arilu's glory, we drove them all out of the city. We haven't had any trouble here since. Many have come here, even the Baylor Kremzida. They have all been sent straight back to where they came from, or else they were killed for their trouble. You see, Discar himself had to crawl out of the abyss and come here. The goddess cursed him, in order to break through our defenses. And what did he do? He left again, and we're still fighting. Now that is what vigilance and discipline can do. Ramien really warned you about the attack. Those crazed Esnans were always bursting into my study with their incoherent prophecies that came to them in their dreams. I won't lie, sometimes what they said did come to pass, but can we really rely on the woolly dreams of heretics over the cold hard facts of intelligence reports? Plenty of demons could have easily fooled them, and whispered a treasonous plan in their dreams, and those lunatics would have only been too happy to listen. This time, Mr. Crossforbrains, that seems a little out of character for Hulrun to say, came to me and declared that demons were about to attack the city, and that the wardstone's power was diminished by some kind of contamination or taint. Amade forgive me for even repeating the words. So he just talked about the Red Morning Massacre, where the demons came in and splattered blood all over the wardstone. That's where the contamination came from. After uttering such blasphemy, he should have been locked up along with his followers and interrogated. But instead, I simply increased the surveillance on them. And what next? My people caught them red-handed trying to attack the wardstone with unknown magic. And not 3 days later, the demons attacked the city. There's an obvious connection between these events. Whether deliberately or under demonic influence, the Desnans played right into the hands of Discari's hordes, and they almost left the city completely defenseless. Ramien covered for his people the whole time, and helped them escape my guards. After that, what else can he be but a traitor and a heretic? There's nothing dangerous in this hole. You have no reason to guard it. You told me yourself that you received a light-bringing gift from an angel, who perished in the caves below our feet. It is no secret that those passages are teeming with dangerous creatures that could kill anyone, even a warrior of heaven. Demons and demonic offspring love roaming about underground. That's why I will be keeping an eye on this hole. If the beasts decide to attack from here, we'll be ready for them. Where can I find Ramien? How should I know? The weasel can't have gone far. He turned invisible. He's probably hunkered down in some hole, like the traitor's little rat he is. He'll be sitting, trembling and waiting till he's dragged out of there. With the Prelate after you, that seems the only sensible thing to do. It's what I'd do. I'm sure lots of things sound sensible to you. And it works too. As you can see, I'm still alive. I have to go. Go on then if you have to. It would be good if you could return with the head of that scum. Ember peers intently at Hulrun. I remember you. When Father and I arrived in this city, you met us. But what is this gibberish? As if I have nothing better to do than to arrange meetings with vagrants. But it's true. You and the other knights tied us to stakes and started lighting the bonfire. Father died, but then one of your knights changed his mind and pulled me from the flames. But then he died too. Don't you remember? If you were burned, then it was with good reason. You say some traitor helped you escape from the fire. That is a crime in itself. Which means that you've been evading justice all these years. If it weren't for the invasion, I would review your case and see that your sentence was finally fulfilled. Now you're lucky that we have more important matters to deal with right now. He didn't look the way he does right now, or he does now, all wrinkled and gray. He was young with a big mustache. Ember smiles broadly and draws a large bushy mustache in the air with her finger. He probably forgot all about me. It was a long time ago. But I do want to say one thing. I'm not cross with him. This knight is a true hero. He just really wanted to protect his city. Only he got all mixed up about who was good and who was evil. Hulrun, you sent an innocent child to be burned at the stake. Don't you want to ask for forgiveness? Ha, hardly. Anyone can look innocent. How did this girl manage to survive the fire? What about that crow that's always flying around her? I advise you to take a closer look at this innocent little lamb of yours. If you ask me, she looks highly suspicious indeed. You forgive him, after what he did to you. He thought he was doing what was right. How do you know? Maybe you've done something, thinking it was a good thing. You're really doing a bad thing that hurts someone. But what if I've done the same thing? You can't get angry at people for making mistakes, when you might be no better than them. Alright, let's go, Ember. Yes, let's go. Bye-bye, kind knight. She waves to Hulrun with a carefree smile. Hulrun grimaces and turns away. I'm gonna respect Ember's wishes and not attack him right there. Also, you can see the mongrels across the way here. But you can't attack Hulrun here and kill him. You get a decent sword out of it, but it is a pretty difficult fight. So if you want to do that, I recommend waiting till later to do it. I will deal with that in just a moment. First, we've got a little confrontation up ahead.
Yes?
Can we retreat already?
You won't survive me.
Distract them for me.
Go for their hearts! Surrender or else!
Did you see that?
Too late for apologies.
You should have run! This will hurt!
I'll cut you wide open! Into the fray!
Now once again, that fight has a pretty good chance of going sideways. Normally I like to use grease there, but I don't think I have any more castings on hand, do I?
Me?
I don't.
I heed the voice of the spirits.
Alright, so half plate plus 1 is an upgrade for Sela. And for myself. Alright, a Midnight Bolt. The owner of this bolt can shoot it to deal 50 points of damage that can't be ignored or reduced. This bolt cannot miss.
Might be trap, might be treasure.
We'll find a few of those as we go along.
I'm off.
Alright, the demon invasion transformed all of Kenabres into one great battlefield, but nowhere in the city suffered as much as this square. This place saw a clash of titans, the demon lord Discari leading his hordes from the abyss, and the dragon Terendelev, the mightiest of the city's defenders, and one of the first to fall. The scene of destruction leaves no doubt as to the battle's outcome. A skilled scout could recreate the course of the battle moment by moment, simply by looking at the ruins. From the chimneys torn down by powerful wings and a sharp dive, to the bloody tracks left behind when the demon dragged away the noble reptile's broken body. But it is no hypothetical scout gazing upon the ruins. It is Donald. He is not alone. The shadow of a strange, barely perceptible presence lingers over this place. Like a gaze untethered from any observer, this mysterious force unknown to mortal kind silently assesses, judges, and seeks a better way. In an instant, Donald is vested with this power and looks at the world with its eyes. The past, present, and future stand before him as a unified whole, an unmoving, multifaceted crystal that'd be beautiful were it not for the fractures, blemishes, and flecks marring its splendor. What past does he see? In the past exists the one who wielded this gaze in life. Although the one and life are in opposite terms for aeons, the supernatural embodiments of cosmic balance. Rather than who or what, a better word for these entities is how. This aeon appeared from outside this world, from the great beyond, to put an end to the intermingling of the planes and destroy the world wound, the chasm and disrupting the order of the multiverse. Alas, the visitor from beyond proved too weak for the battle they came to fight. They even failed to finish casting the spell that would have sent Discari back to the abyss. With one swing of his scythe, the Demon Lord cut the aeon down. I do like the aeon soundtrack that's playing. What present does he see? Ruins, blood, corpses. None of this perturbs the aeon's dispassionate gaze. The living are alive. The dead will be judged by Pharasma. All is as it should be. But the demons circling in the sky or prowling through the streets create a jarring juxtaposition, like splashes of blood-red ink on a restrained pencil sketch. They should not be here. The world of mortals is for mortals. The demon's place is in the demon world. How sublime the world would be if everything in it knew its place. But even the demons aren't as abhorrent as the sharp-edged, unassuming crystal languishing in the dirt among the bricks and smashed cobblestones. No mortal would notice it, but to the aeon's eyes, its mere existence is an outrage against universal laws. If the aeon still existed, it would not stop until the crystal was unmade. But the aeon is gone, and only their gaze remains. Donald picks up the crystal up out of the dirt and stows it in his pocket. He is mortal, which means he has the power to decide what to do with it. What future does he see? Good and evil, chaos and order. Everything is in its lawful place in the multiverse, and is no longer trespassing where it does not belong. Nothing is disrupting the smooth and steady current of the river of souls from life into death, and back to life again. The reality, rid of its flaws, is now perfect, and the aeons withdraw to eternally admire its beauty, which will never be threatened again. After allowing the hero to view the world through their eyes, the little that remained of the destroyed aeon is killed, even appropriate here for an entity that is so removed from life and death as we understand them. Use up its last vestiges of energy. Now they are ready to disperse into nothingness, unless someone decides to preserve the aeon within themselves. Will the hero take on this power, so that he may again look at the world through another's eyes? Or will he allow it to vanish? Right, retain the aeon's power within yourself. The spirit of the aeon dwells out of sight, deep in Donald's soul, like a pair of magical spectacles stowed away until the moment when the hero once again needs to look at the world through another's eyes. We just unlocked the Aeon Mythic
I
Path.
do what I must.
We also unlocked the Angel Mythic Path earlier in the playthrough, when we found the sword where Lan and Wendawag were looking for it. It's also important to note that while we technically start with the Angel Mythic Path, we had to unlock it. There is one mythic path we don't have to unlock,
gone.
and there's not a
My
book
tail is
event
twitching.
for,
Must be a sign.
which is a bit of a hint. I rifted in the earth left by Discari's massive scythe. You and your companions fell through here during the attack. Well, not all of them. Alright, have a pretty nasty fight up ahead. How do I want to handle this?
We'll make things right. You can trust me.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to this.
Did we find trouble?
The spirits demand your blood.
They did.
I'll hit you.
Sorry, Camellia.
This pain is excruciating. You won't stop us.
So I can't clip them. I also don't want to hit Camellia again, so I'm going to leave it be.
So this is how it feels. This is how it feels.
The light take you!
I was afraid of that. Of course, take him out as soon as Camellia dies.
We do it my way.
These people were not killed by demons. Their mortal wounds were inflicted by ordinary weapons. So what to do about Camellia? We could bring her back with Threndalov's scale. I might have to. Let me plan this out real quick. We're not too far away from two other companions. We can probably navigate around needing Camellia. Well, we need her for a quest. We can save up gold for that and buy a raised dead scroll instead of using this. I've got a plan. I've got a plan indeed.
I'm off.
Judging by the size of the bloodstain, the body of something truly enormous was dragged over these stones. Threndalos, most likely. So I'm actually going to leave the market square temporarily and go meet with the storyteller. I thank the gods. I found someone who isn't fleeing in a panic. Are you crusaders? Mercenaries? The comely half-elf is so frightened, he can barely get the words out. I'm a servant of Count Darren Kale Navis Arendae. My lord's mansion is under attack by demons. The master himself and all his guests are trapped inside, and the house guards are nowhere to be found. I managed to escape through a servant's passage to look for help. Will you help me? The mansion is only a stone's throw away, on the next street over. He meets your gaze with pleading eyes. You've heard about the Arendae family before. This wealthy and noble Mandavian dynasty was almost wiped out by demons more than 10 years ago. The last surviving member of the family, young Count Darren, has an infamous reputation. He's well known for being a rake and a rogue. Misfortune continues to dog the house of Arendae, I see. The servant cringes. You're telling me. Everyone tried to talk me out of taking up the position, saying that it can't have just been bad luck that brought tragedy down on the family and almost killed off the line. But I reasoned that since my master was the only one to survive that calamity, that meant he must be blessed by fate and the powers of good. The pay was nothing to sniff at either. The servant cast his eyes around the street. I should have listened to people smarter than me and gone to work somewhere else, preferably far away from Kenabres. Tell me more about what happened. I'll tell you what I can. I was working from dusk till dawn and back to dusk again, serving guests at the Count's banquet. When the other servants came to relieve me at my post, I went to sleep. Next thing I know, I wake up and there are demons inside the mansion. I couldn't even reach the Count. The monsters had blocked the way. The Count's banquet was still going on. He and his guests were in the Great Hall. As far as I could tell, the door to the room was sealed and the demons couldn't get in. I'm begging you, hurry. The mansion's doors are sturdily built. The demons will have to work hard to get past them. So you still have time to rescue the people inside. What will I get if I help this Count of yours? Yeah, so I agree, it's out of character, but I like exploring all the dialogue. Demanding a reward for fighting demons. That is dishonorable, and foolish too, since demons are the enemy of each and every one of us. Today we selflessly help someone to thrash the demons, and tomorrow, someone else will help us. If we were talking about a humble working man or a soldier, I'd be the first to say that we ought to help, because it's the right thing to do. But some filthy rich aristocrat with a mansion. If he wants our services, he can pay for them. This is coming from a lawful neutral character. I'm trying to imagine how the cave tribes would have survived. We'd had a small group of freeloaders sitting pretty on their inherited wealth, doing nothing while the rest of us starved. I'm sure the Count will reward you handsomely for any rescue. Alright, I'll help. Where's your master's house? It's not far at all. You're better off entering from the next street over, through the passage I used to get out. Help, I'm begging you. I hate to think what the Count will do to me if I don't bring back help. Alright, so we're gonna take a small detour and head towards the Blackwing Library next. So that I can use Trendle of Scale to bring Camellia back. Yeah, I think that's the best course of action, because I'll go to Blackwing Library, we'll return to the Defender's Heart from there. I come back to the Market Square, finish clearing it out, and then head towards the Tower of Estrad. Yeah, I've got a good plan. Alright, well either way I'm going to call it here for now. Next time we'll head towards the Blackwing Library, and go from there. But for now, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.